Welcome back to Shropshire Business Live TV. I'm joined now by Emily Browne from the Midlands Air Ambulance Charity. Thank you for your time. Great to see you. Before we get around to talking about a very new and exciting initiative that you're launching for the business community, just tell us a bit about your journey to the job you're doing now.
I've had a varied journey to get where I am today. I did actually start off as a journalist many moons ago, but soon realised that I'd been much better as a nurse, and requalified, trained as a nurse and worked predominantly in emergency departments. I also was in the RAF Reserves as part of that. Then I went on and worked in a university. Education became my passion. How can I make students better? How can I allow a better healthcare service? And for me, that was going in and working with students at that point and getting them ready for practice. And then the opportunity came to work for this amazing charity, and I'm really happy to be at Midlands Air Ambulance.
And given your previous roles, you'd have been well aware of Midlands Air Ambulance and what they do and what they stand for already, wouldn't you?
Absolutely, those heroes in red turning up at A&E with our patients or collecting them and moving them along. So it was great to be able to become part of something so special.
So I know you've been there for about 12 months, so you're now in this nice shiny new headquarters at Cosford, which looks absolutely fantastic. But you're launching these brand new first aid courses for businesses, which is a completely new departure, isn't it?
Yeah, so previously we didn't have the facilities to be able to offer this sort of thing, and they didn't have somebody specifically looking at education for them. So the offer of these courses allows people to come and have first aid training from experts, from clinicians. Myself and our paramedics will deliver these first aid courses so that when you're having that training, you're really hearing the information from somebody who's been there, done that, seen it, and can relate that back to you in a first aid training course.
But you're also supporting the charity at the same time as doing it, which I guess is the big difference, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. It's another way to give back to the charity, to be able to raise funds to all importantly put those red helicopters in the sky and go on those life-saving missions. So it's really important for us to have other ways to diversify, to bring in income, bring in that fundraising that's vital to our service.
And I guess the world of work has changed massively in the last 4 or 5 years, isn't it? We've got far more people either working from home or working in a hybrid fashion. First aid training, when you've got a big company and a big group of people all working 9 to 5 is one thing. But when we're all working in a very sort of scattergun way, is it something that slips off the radar sometimes?
I think it might be. There is a change. We don't, go into an office and need a certain number of first aiders maybe anymore, or there will be businesses that still have that. But first aid skills, CPR in particular, they're life skills. They're so important. I can't express how important it is for people to be able to do something at the point of an incident, to be able to support that casualty, to be able to give them maybe that vital CPR that they need, that is going to give them the best possible chance of survival while they're waiting for our colleagues in the ambulance service and for Midlands Air Ambulance to be getting to that casualty to give them the treatment that they need. First aid is that very first step of treating the patient.
I was talking a couple of weeks ago to a business just outside Craven Arms that had got a defibrillator outside their premises, and unfortunately somebody was taken ill, but then there was a big panic to find someone. It's one thing having the defibrillator, it's another thing having someone that knows what to do and can sort of fire into action without having to find a textbook out of the office. And is it things like that you would learn on this course?
Yes, absolutely. So we offer the full range of first aid courses, from your 3-day first aid at work, your emergency first aid, paediatric first aid, but we also offer a basic life support and defib course, which is exactly that. It's focusing on that life-saving skill and knowing what to do with that machine in a box. And it is so simple when you know it's simple, but if you don't know it's simple, you don't know. So, a defibrillator is an incredibly easy piece of equipment to use. It's 2 buttons, it's switch it on and press the flashy button if it tells you to. But giving people the confidence and the competence to be able to use that is what these courses are about, to kind of say, it's okay. Having a go, it's the best thing for that casualty to attempt to do some CPR, attempt to get that defibrillator on them, because it will make a difference in their potential long-term recovery.
Do you sort of simulate some of these kind of situations? Because, until the pressure's actually put on someone, knowing it, understanding it, revising it, doing your homework is different to suddenly having it right in front of you and needing to sort of come into action, isn't it?
Absolutely. You know, you can learn all sorts of different things in a book, but it doesn't mean you can necessarily do it. So yeah, simulation is a big part of the training. So we have incredibly lifelike mannequins or simulators. So we train on the traditional resuscianis that people will have seen to start with, and then we move on to full-size mannequins that look like real people. We have an immersive room where we can create the environment around them to look like their place of business or a field or a house or wherever you can imagine. We can put that on the walls. So then they feel that they're in that environment. So the response is more authentic to how they would actually be. Their heart rate's going to be up. They're going to be dealing with that situation, trying to open that packet with that stress. But doing it in that way and practicing in that way, that muscle memory of having done it in a more realistic environment is going to help them be able to put it into practice.
So tell me a bit more about these courses then. Have they already started? When are they running? Do you have to have a certain number of people to make them run, or how does it work?
So we're advertising them currently through our website. So if you go to Midlands Air Ambulance Charity, you'll be able to go through to our education pages, and all of our first aid courses are advertised there. They'll take you through to a link to Eventbrite to book on the courses. At the moment, we've got a few dates out there just to sort of see how we get on, but there is an email link. So if there's a business out there that needs a certain amount of people training, we can do that. So it's about getting in touch as we kind of build and grow this service to see what the local community needs. So yeah, all of the courses available on the website.
Fabulous. Final question. Are you enjoying the job then? You're 12 months down the line. Is it what you thought it was going to be?
I love it. I'm delighted to work for such an important charity, to be able to use my skills to make a difference in more ways than I ever could through education, through my clinical knowledge. It's a great place to work, and it's fantastic to be here, sort of asking people to fundraise for us, to come and have the training, to be able to give that training back. Couldn't be happier.
Making a real difference. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Emily, great to see you. Thanks so much for coming to see us.
Lovely. Thank you.